here I am. The last 2 weeks, man. Okay, well, maybe it's even like the last week and a half. Things have been exciting and really painful and joyful, and I'm so grateful for these things. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through what those things are from the painful, and then we're going to move on. Okay, so it was okay. Number one, I want to make some things clear to people. The organization Invisible People, they interviewed me. I belonged to a support group that was managed by the leader of Invisible People. And that was where the person decided to interview for me. Good. Hi, I'm glad you got on here. And so the affiliation, it was wonderful. And the person is a wonderful person. And Mark Horvath inspires a lot of people and does a lot of wonderful things in this world. But I am not affiliated as far as connected or a part of, other than the interview and the Hanes, the collaboration between Hanes and Invisible People. I took part in that. I had ran a vlog since February. It didn't really take off, but it was my thing. It was a way to share my journey. It was a way to heal. It was a way to show people and educate people about homelessness and make them aware. And me and my kids had talked about that. And I found that lately there's been a lot of misunderstandings about who I am, what my beliefs are, and really what I do. And sometimes you just can't, when you don't really know someone, you can't be that judge. You can't fully understand what they're about until you learn about them. And I decided to unjoin a support group that I belonged to. It was becoming kind of negative. It was very negative in my life, okay? It had gotten to the point where it was negative. It was something that was upsetting to me. I had tried to help people, and I found out that I was helping people and trying to help people that were consistently telling me, I can't. When I knew, when you look at the homeless community, there really is a triage system, okay? There is a huge triage system. And I'm of the mind that I'm able to offer certain things. That is my help. And I was this way in my camp as well. I'm not a babysitter. Camp mom is very different than that. I have tools. I have skills. I can show people how to use those to improve their lives if they want. If not, that's chill. That's totally cool. But it's not cool when I'm a part of something that's supposed to be support and I'm watching over and over a call out for the same kind of assistance. And when they don't exactly get what they need or want, then it's like, well, nobody helped me. And I started researching some of these things, and I was just like, I just couldn't take part anymore. And that was okay, because that was just a support group, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, because in my life, here's where I'm at. My past has been extremely painful sometimes. From the abuse as a child to foster care to domestic violence, on and on to homelessness. There have been things in my life that have required years of healing, anguish within my soul and mind. So when I view situations now that I am healing and have gone through a lot of therapy and things like that, I know that beyond everything in this world, the most important thing for me is peace of mind. Without peace of mind, I can't do anything. I can't help anyone. I can't help myself. I can't do anything. All I can do is be in anguish. And that's not okay. I want to do amazing things. I want to do things that improve and cause solutions and are phenomenal, you know? And that's good. That is a wonderful place that I feel comfortable being in. But one of the things that I do now is when I view situations, events, people, places that I feel negative around. When it gets to the point where I am concentrating on it, it's taking away from my peace and it's taking away from my time. I separate those into categories. First things first. Is it something that I can do about? Yes, a support group. You just unjoin. It's good. You know, whatever. Where it came to the problem was when I was asked to give a reason. And that's totally cool. I didn't mind that at all. I am cool with constructive criticism, and I just said it's becoming too negative. It's having a bad impact on my life, and and then I was asked to justify that reason. Here's where I went wrong. And I know better because I watch my actions and I really reflect and I do a lot of self-analyzing, is I defended that reason. It is okay to ask someone their reasons. When they give those reasons, leave it alone. And in that little defense, it was a few sentences, there was a litany of what I thought, what I believed, and I was sitting there with this information that this person had just given to me saying, this is who you are, and this is what you should be. And I said, that isn't. I reject that. I reject what you say I am and what you say I believe. That's not the truth. Sorry you misread that. I don't like people putting words in my mouth. And this was over a support group. So in that, I was like, okay, that was actually a really good choice for me. If that was the way that was A-okay. I made the right choice. In my life, I've learned you don't have to justify your reasoning. Okay, it's your reasons. You have those. You know you. You know your internal self. You know all about you. No one else can know you like you know you. And your reasons are very personal, and that's okay. My reasons are personal, and that's okay. And so what I did is I realized it was time again. And I do this regularly. I go through my life, and I look at people, places, things like that are very, very negative. And I put those into categories. First is professional, like support, anything that has to do with stressful stuff anyway. And then I look at people who are, friends, short-term friends, long-term friends, family, things like that. Family is not necessarily blood, by the way, in my view and in my world. And that determines on pretty much what people are allowed to get away with me. And then there is my world, and that's still very, very, I keep very, very tight rein on that. And then there's the world stuff. Now, I believe that there are going to be things in this world that upset us and traumatize us and drop us to our knees. But for me, I believe that it has to be something, if I'm going to allow that, it has to be something worth me trying to figure out and trying to spend my time. That means human rights violations are up there. Humanity and, what we're doing is a huge deal. That to me, I will lose sleep over. I will cry about, I will hurt about. Genocide, climate change, political instability, mass migration, mass die-offs of species, all those things will keep me up at night. Those things I will allow to work over in my head so that I can try to figure out solutions, real solutions. Now, next, those things those are things that I believe for me are worth that. because I want to find solutions. I want to spend my time. And there are really joyful moments in that too. Okay? Like Malala Yousafzai. She's amazing. So in that. Now the next group, I look at people such as, hi Mia. I look at people such as friends, family, close acquaintance, things like that. And I view them and I'm like, okay, which one of these people is becoming a negative? And how long have I known them? Do they know me? Is what they're saying something that I believe is going to be a long-term positive impact on my life, even if it's negative right now? And there's a lot of people that are. Like, I have to say, there's a lot of people that will become, that are, even if they're going through it, or even if we're having disagreements, that in the long term are amazingly positive influences in my life. And I love them dearly. But sometimes there is times to cut connections when it becomes too negative, when it becomes taking up your time and you are not willing to give it that time. We have a limited time upon this earth to make change. I do. I mean, maybe they're going to come up with, living forever. I don't know. But for right now, in my world, I have a very limited time. I wish I had more to study and figure it all out. But for right now, I only have this amount of time. And the things that I have to remember to give my time to have to be very important. And the people as well. And so then there comes family and things like that. And family can be the people that just got your back consistently and love you consistently throughout disagreements, throughout all of that. But they're the people that also do the work to get to know who you are. Not just, if you look through my vlog on Facebook, and there are so many videos, so I'm like not expecting anybody to go through all the videos. So many facets of my personality and who I am, and even that, you cannot, Rowan must got tired of the blanket. And even that, there are so many tucked in corners and little things, and it takes, like my campmates, they know me, they spend time around me. Well, some of them. The ones like Gypsy. Gypsy knows me very well. Holly knows me really well. So I look at that, and I do cutting. I do disentanglement and cutting negatives out of my life on a regular basis. I will never, ever, doesn't matter if I'm homeless, it doesn't matter if I'm homed. My peace of mind is everything. Is everything. If something is causing so much of my time or my headspace or whatever, and it's not having a positive impact, it must go. I have a limited amount of time. I need to figure out some things. And a lot of that has to do with, doing what I believe is right for me in this world and becoming a good person and in making positive impacts. And it is a process. It is not wake up one morning and have this it is such a process, and it is such a learning experience. Now, I've spent enough time on that. That was painful. I disentangled from people. I disentangled from situations. Then comes the joyful. And I love that. And this is what I get excited about, okay? So much joy. So listen to this. So I disentangled from people and situations. And this is how I know when I start doing the right thing. Things turned amazing, like totally amazing. Holly came over for the weekend. Things, there is and this is exciting, there is a documentary company who does films that has contacted me and Rowan. And that was actually through Mark, which I have to say thank you for. He had told them about me. And we had, me and the film company had emailed back and forth, and then I hadn't heard from them in a while, and I was just like, oh, okay. It's not anything paid, so it's kind of like if people want to follow me around with me and Ro, it's about actually the roaster right there. Hey, Ro, I love you. And so me and her in our relationship. And so we're in talkings about that. And so that came up like almost right away. Like all these things started like bam, 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 all these wonderful things. As soon as I started cutting some negatives out, I had to have room for the positive. I had to make space. And I did. And all of a sudden it was like flooded. Like universe was like, oh, you have space for all the wonderfulness I'm about to give you. You didn't have space before. You were over here in the negatives. I had to cut that. And then all of a sudden, all this joy and positivity. And then, being my business, it's really wonderful. And I'm still working on the website up. I got my photography website up. If you want to check it out, it's www.manda, which is MANDA, jphotography.com. And the website's up. Not all my pictures are up, but I'm pretty excited about it. And that is my first website. And that was like my trial run for being, because I got to work out that website. And it's a public affairs consulting, training, and education company with a division for immediate outreach. And we've received some donations, which is, yeah, so exciting. And I got a big donation, which we're going to be able for immediate outreach. And I'm so excited. Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, I almost got sidetracked because I remembered something else really wonderful. Okay, so I want to put together these kits. And I found, okay, so life straws are really important. Here's why. When you look at the basis of life, what is that? Food, water, reliable shelter. Okay? We have temperature regulation. We have to keep ourselves warm or cool. So by doing that, we need clean water. We need to be healthy. And lately, because a homeless population has gotten to the point where it's seriously, calling it homelessness is just ridiculous. We have internally displaced people. We are in the middle of an internal refugee crisis. It's where we're at. And by toning it down and toning the language and picking all these little pet homeless, like putting us all into subgroups and being like, oh, I like you. That's who we should help. And I like you. This is who we should help. And I like you. This is who we should help. That gets a little old. It gets a little crazy to me. The thing is it should be a triage system just like it was. And that was something I was really big on when I was homeless, is when people would offer me things, I would try to think, and it wasn't just me. My kids were like this. It was amazing. They would turn down supplies if they felt that they didn't need it as badly and it could go to somebody else that needed it more. It's just the most wonderful thing. And I really still think like that. And it just amazes me, that maybe other people, and I think that that's a training thing. I think that we need to think that way. I think that, it's the same thing in a hospital. You're not going to run over to the person with bronchitis when you have a heart attack happening right in front of you. That seems a little insane. And so, that's kind of where I'm at with that. But the life straws. And so we got water covered life straws. So we're going to put those in the package. And then the second thing, I found these, they're really hard because a lot of times you can't find these in stores, okay? And at least the stores around here that I have found, at least in a cheap way, inexpensive. You can get things online much more inexpensive than you can go in a store. And so I was searching for like the little stoves that fold out because they're really easy to pack in a backpack because they're only like yay big. and they fold up and they got like a little carry bag. I have one in my hiking backpack, and they fold out, but it screws on. And I found one that's good for propane, butane, whatever fuel you're using, and it just screws on and it lays down into like a flat cook stove. So water, ability to cook food, and they're inexpensive as well. So we can put the life straw in the kit. We can put one of those and some Mylar, which covers if you need shelter and you need warmth, it's right there. Now, I was thinking, kind of counter thinking the Mylar a little bit because it's summer. And I'm just not altogether sure. And I might actually do good sewing kits as well. Because here's the thing, or some good, actually not good sewing kits, because the thread in sewing kits is crap. Just gonna throw that out there. You can't, in a homeless community, you are not using that kind of thread on anything. We use dental floss or really, like good heavy duty thread. We are in a tough situation out there. And so I was thinking like some good needles because, funny story, we're at Eastlake and we had like our wintertime screws with your zippers, everything, like everything breaks. You can expect all your tent zippers to break, your coat zippers to break. Like if you notice in the Hanes video, where we were handing out socks, I was wearing a coat and it was always open. It was because my zipper had broken that morning because of the cold. Like, this is a real thing. Plastics, it just, whatever. So you need a good needle and you need good thread. And the sewing kit's open. So I was thinking that, now that I think of that, that's wonderful. And this woman named Carla, she is amazing. So the next joyful thing, Holly Isaac and the new little baby bumper here. They're doing so great. They got a car and, they're right now, Isaac, he's working temp because, he's trying to get his job stuff worked together, and Holly's still looking for a laptop so she can get, her things rolling. But they're doing so well, and they're really just so strong. And so I got to take pictures, and they spent the whole weekend with me. And I made apple rhubarb pie, and we had lavender ice cream. And Snoqualmie Farms makes this, I think it's Snoqualmie Farms. They make this ice cream. It's like a craft ice cream, and it's got lavender in it. And I just got a little small thing, and we had it with the apple strawberry or the apple rhubarb pie that I made. Oh, showed Holly how to make a good pie crust. And it was just such a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And then this woman, Carla, got a hold of me. And she told me that I inspired her. And that to me, that is so inspirational to me, to know that my life is making a difference, I feel that in my soul. So, and she handed out she had Ipsy bags, and she put, supplies, feminine supplies, and handed those out to the women, and handed out Hanes socks. And I was just like, that's so amazing. And I was just like, thank you so much. And a bike with a basket, which is really wonderful. That was really awesome. So, I was just like, that is wonderful to be able to see the ripples that your life is making just give so much to me. And then it's May Day week, which means that one of my kids had an idea, and it was taking flowers out for May Day. Because in Seattle, May Day is a day of protest, and we all usually go out. We speak about, we protest. We go out and we speak about the issues. And this is a big deal to a lot of them. To a lot of us, not them, me. This is a big deal to me. And it's a big deal to them, so I just think that's wonderful. So I'm going to go get some flowers. I asked for donations, but there were no donations forthcoming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all the grocery stores, and I'm going to look at their stuff on clearance. Because a lot of times they have really pretty flowers that are going for $2.99, shoved off in some little place. And I can get some of those, and we can hand them out with messages of peace. and still go to the protests, and I will still be photographing those. Um, I just, life got really joyful really quick, and then I had to like do that breathing and looking at, because I think it's important for me anyway, to look at, okay, what are all the painful things that happened? And what are all the joyful things that happened? And what lessons did I learn from all of it? And this amazing sense of gratitude came over me for the experiences that I've had. Every life-shaping event changes me, just a little. And it changes my perspective, and it changes the beauty that I see. And I am so thankful, and I am so grateful for this learning experience of life. And I had to share with you, there are just these amazing, and my daughter, my biological daughter, my oldest one, is coming to visit me in June for my 40th birthday. I am so excited. I have not seen her in a couple years, like 3. And she graduated high school, graduated college, is doing wonderful, and is coming to see her mom. And I am just over the top with that. And my friend Liz is coming in July, which is amazing as well. So it's just going to be this. I'm grateful. And I was grateful for my homeless experience as well. Without it, I wouldn't have learned what I learned. And in everything, there are amazingly positive lessons. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that, and the reason I wanted to start with the painful is because getting that out of the way, because I think a lot of people are like, or not a lot, you know what? I don't know what a lot of people think. I don't know what you think. I don't know what anybody thinks. I know, unless they say what they think, then I know. But I know what I think. And I think that sharing these experiences and sharing the joy and the beauty and the pain and how it all comes together to form this amazing knowledge and sense of being. I love being. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will try to get on more this week. I probably don't have as much to figure out in this little noggin here. Well, I have tons to figure out. I'm not, Bye, everyone.